There's a little narrow gate at the top of a hill.
Le Voyage. It's a French word for the journey. And Le Voyage is a work that I began probably 6 or 7 years ago. Kind of in a personal journey in my own life, but a musical journey as well. Greg Nelson and Bob Farrell, the two writers of it, came to me with the idea of doing sort of a through composed piece, a story in a sense. Well, that was great with me because I love stories, I love allegory, and I love all kinds of stories that kind of help get a more eternal point across, but in a story kind of setting. Le Voyage is very much that. It's a story of traveler as she makes her way through life, meets a companion along the way, and ultimately through trial and error and good times and hard times end up in the home place. I couldn't think of a better place to have a world premiere than here in my hometown. I love this town of Anderson, Indiana. I love the people. I love all the things about it. There's so many things that make it very special. So definitely the people make it special. There are some wonderful historic sites, and the Paramount Theater is definitely one of those. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's got a lot of history, and in the refurbishing of it, they've kept the integrity of the original architecture, but made it very livable, and for people to come and enjoy concerts and people to perform concerts, and just seemed like a very natural place to have a world premiere. People ask me all the time what is my favorite project that I've done, and I have to say Le Voyage is definitely right up there in the top two. It's a very personal project to me, and I love the music and I love the story. But you know, it's kind of one of those projects that I've never been able to really perform because it's just never quite had that something extra that would keep people's attention for an hour and a half or so. Until I sat with Luann Young a year ago and said, you know what would be fun, Luann, is for somebody to choreograph the work of Le Voyage. And she just jumped right on that and got so excited. And I happen to believe that here in Anderson we have the finest dance company in the United States. They are just absolutely terrific. And these young people from high school to college age are just outstanding. And so I was just so excited to kind of see this whole thing come to life. My daughter dances with the company, so that's one thing that made it very, very special for me. And the other thing that made it really special for me is I always wanted to be a dancer. From the time I was, 3 or 4 years old, and I would watch the Carol Burnett show and see the dancers on it. I remember wanting to be a dancer, but it just didn't work out for me. So that's another thing for me that's kind of made it extra special, is to see this work of Le Voyage come to life, not just come to life through dance.
I was familiar with this piece from the first time I heard it, which was the year it was recorded, so I'm really kind of drawn to the personal nature of the piece to everybody who listens to it. So it's kind of one of those things that I never imagined I would be, involved in. Just kind of fun, and also to work with Sandi, the opportunity to work with her. She's probably the greatest voice alive, and just a wonderful person, and she's become a good friend, and so it's kind of cool.
Well, I get to come back and dance with my old company, because I've danced here since I was 3, but I went off to college. So now I'm coming back to dance, and also being on stage with Sandi Patty. Oh wow! And just being back in Anderson to do this is, and of course the meaning of the show.
Well, besides this just being an artistic endeavor for me, it's also just been very meaningful because of the message, and I just hope that it touches a lot of people's hearts that are out there in the audience. So that's really what it's all about.
Just the translation from the journey of what Le Voyage is all about, and it's kind of like paralleling my life as well.
Personally, I think it's just to know that Sandi is finally getting her wish to have Le Voyage brought to life by dancers and good dancers. I expect that everybody is going to love it. It's a wonderful show with a great message, and I expect that I'll be brought to tears once again.
I think just the whole thing in general is just absolutely wonderful. The Le Voyage book is very spiritual. Everyone coming together and doing it, I think everyone's very much a part of it. Everyone really enjoys doing it, and especially being in this with like everyone that's so close to me is wonderful. I think that this Le Voyage means so much to everyone, and I think just it in itself is just absolutely wonderful.
So now I'll walk a different road.
For those of you who have seen this live at the Paramount, you know that you are in for a wonderful treat. For those of you who are getting this for the first time and are about to experience a journey yourself, I thank you so much for choosing to embark on this journey of music and song and words and dance. My hope is that we will all maybe see ourselves a little bit in this Le Voyage and in Traveler. We're all at different places in our journey, and wherever you might be, my hope and my prayer is that you will find something that will refresh and restore your soul.
In a time not so far away, and a place close to our own, a baby girl was born. She came from a long line of seekers of truth, and she was called Traveler. Traveler lived and grew pretty much as little girls do, until the time came for her to set out on her own journey of life.
There's a little narrow gate beckons my heart to enter in and follow where it will. And the path that leads through this gate of dreams takes me with the wind at my back, the journey before me. I set my feet on the road that leads to life and take the hand of the one who'll be my companion, for he will show me the place to begin. It's through the little narrow gate at the top of a hill, and it beckons my heart to enter and follow where it will. Oh, where it will. And the path that leads through this gate of dreams takes me away. All of my life I've been waiting. Could this be the place I can start? There's a little narrow gate at the top of a hill, and it beckons my heart to enter in and do my Father's will, my Father's will. And the path that leads through this gate of dreams takes me takes me away, takes me away. Takes me away, takes me On the day that Traveler was to leave home, there was a party given in her honor. And in the midst of the festivities, her father called Traveler into his study.
Well, my dear, you'll be going out on your own soon. I trust that you'll take everything your mother and I have said to heart. We want very much for you to follow in our footsteps.
Why, yes, Father, she answered, for she had no reason to believe that her journey would lead anywhere other than where it was expected to, wherever that was. He reached into a satchel and drew out an antique brass compass.
This compass was your grandmother's and her father before her. See that you take good care of it, use it on your journey, and above all, preserve it for future generations, for that is the way of our family, seekers of truth.
Traveler took the compass from her father's hand. Brass knobs outlined the circumference. It was ornate and heavier than it looked. Why, this compass will just cause extra weight in my pack, she thought. Immediately, she chastised herself for feeling ungrateful. Why, her wise father seemed to trust it, and it would surely be worth the extra weight to have a guide to help point her way. Well, the very next day, Traveler readied her pack and set out on her journey. She left her father's house and started down a trail called Familiar. She passed all the familiar landmarks of her youth.
By dusk that very first day, she came to a crossroads. Familiar trail had ended, and already she must make a choice. Traveler took the compass from her pack, squinted up at the sky, looked down at the compass, and chose the road to the left, marked New Beginnings, saying to herself,
I don't know where this journey will lead. I don't really know where I'm going, but after all, this is an adventure.
Soon Traveler came to a roadside inn. She decided to stop, for she was tired and she was hungry. As she lay down for the night, the first stirs of doubt tugged at Traveler's heart.
What if I didn't choose the right road? Where will my life lead? How will I know that I'm doing the right thing? What if I didn't make the right choice? What if I'm not even asking the right questions?
She tossed for a time, pondering all these things. And then, finally, a feeling of peace came over her like a warm blanket. As she heard a small voice that seemed to come from inside her heart saying, Journey, and you will find. Finally, Traveler was able to sleep.
In the morning, Traveler was surprised to find so many other travelers getting ready to set out from the inn. They chatted over their breakfast about where they had been and where they were going. Well, from what she overheard, many of them had been on the road far longer than she had.
Hello, my name is Challenger. I belong to the family of any man. You look, if I might say so, as fresh as if you haven't been traveling for very long.
Well, my name is Traveler.
And you haven't been traveling for long, have you?
No, but why do you ask?
I thought you might like to join my group. We're going to be leaving soon. We want to journey far today. We have no desire to become one of those. They've been here a while. They're called the passers-by.
Well, why are they called that? Why are they called that?
They have stopped following their heart's desire. If a traveler does not follow their heart's desire, they cease to live. But if you come with us, we're traveling to the City of Dreams. You had better come with us.
Oh, the City of Dreams. Oh, that sounds so nice. Well, I wonder if that's where my compass will lead.
Compass? What compass do you have?
It's the compass handed down from my father and his mother before him. We are from the Seekers of Truth.
Immediately, Challenger waved his arms, beckoning to his group to come back and see the compass. Traveler was surrounded by the group, who urged her to go with them.
They traveled along the road, sometimes laughing, sometimes in silence, and sometimes they argued about the meaning of their journey, and quite honestly, sometimes the road was just too long. As Traveler wandered along the road, she thought of the friends that she had made up to this point, but it was beginning to occur to her that they did not share the same questions about their journey. And when you can't share your innermost feelings, you don't really have true friends. She stood and said to herself, there must be another path. There has to be another journey.
There is.
Who's there?
One who has come to say that there is another path. I have come to tell you that the beckoning in your heart is true, and I am called Companion. I am here to tell you that you can only embark on your own journey and not the journey of others. They must find their own path, and you must find yours.
Oh, no. You mean I've wasted all this time just wandering around? When will my journey begin?
It has already begun. It began the day you left your father's house and walked through the little narrow gate. In doing so, your feet have found the narrow path. Now look closely, traveler.
Who are you? How do you know my name?
I have always known it. Now, look. Tell me what you see.
Well, I see a path, but faintly, because then it just disappears.
That's the way it seems at first. You see, your eyes are new.
hill, I see a little narrow gate.
Traveler, remember, I won't abandon you. Now look behind you and see how far you've already come.
I can hardly believe my feet have brought me this far, to the top of a mountain at the edge of the stars. And I know there's a reason God has shown me this place, to see with a new vision the journey I face. I'm a river that reels through the distance below, winding through choices and the way I must go. I take a long look. It's a hard climb that takes a long time. I can see where I'm going and some places I've been. And so I take a long look. Every summit I reach seems the highest I've been. With my valleys below, God renews me again. I can say my goodbyes to all the struggle and tears. When I see through His eyes, I've got nothing to fear. But joy's there to meet me, and wisdom's my friend, my companion that helps me find purpose again. I take a long look. It's a hard climb that takes a long time. I can see where I'm going and some places I've been. And so I take a long look. I take a long look. It's a hard climb that takes a long time. I can see where I'm going and some places I've been. And so I take a long look. It's a hard climb that takes a long time. I can see where I'm going and some places I've been. I want to take a long
Traveler moved on earnestly. Days passed, steps turned into miles. She followed the narrow path, and it was always there.
She often met other pilgrims along the path, but she always told them she had to make her own way and travel her own journey.
Traveler felt good about the direction of her life. She had met a kind and understanding companion who seemed to know her like no one ever had before. Then one day, the sun barely shone through the mist, and the narrow path was difficult to see.
Where am I? Why is it growing dark? Am I making progress? Well, if I have a companion, then where is he?
Traveler stopped, realizing she had traveled far away from her companion, and she was, in fact, at a crossroads.
She looked at her compass, but it was no help. She looked up at the old wooden sign that read, "The Road of Good Intentions." Well, yes, well, that's the road for me. Why, after all, Companion wanted me to make good choices. Companion? Companion? I suffer from a bad affliction. Seems my life's a contradiction. Two lives war inside of me. And though I want the spirit to win, seems a strong man gets his way. Yeah. I don't do what I know is true. I do what I don't want to do, but I do it. Oh, yes, I do it. Start my life the same each day, praying for a better way. Made up in my mind I'm gonna carry out the good that I desire. But it seldom works out right. I don't do what I know is true. I do what I don't want to do, but I do it. Oh, yes, I do it. I know that life is choices, chances all day long. Oh. Seems my right just always turns out wrong. Some are deeds of ignorance, sometimes disobedience. It doesn't make much difference when it's all rebellion in my heart. Can I ever make it right? I don't do what I know is true. I do what I don't want to do, but I do it. Oh, yes, I do it. I know that life is choices, chances all day long. Oh. Seems my right just always turns out wrong. I know that I could really change. Stop running in these circles all my life. Can I ever make it right? I don't do what I know is true. I do what I don't want to do, but I do it. Oh, yes, I do it. I don't do what I know is true. I do what I don't want to do, but I do it. Oh, yes, I do it. I do it.
Down the road of good intentions seemed like such a good idea. This was just one of the many times when Traveler decided to do something, confident that it was right, and then it had turned out all wrong.
Oh, why did I ever leave Companion in the narrow path? Companion, please, come back to me.
I am here. I did not leave you. I have been where I always am. Now listen carefully, traveler. This road of good intentions really doesn't lead anywhere. The pace of your journey is just as important as the direction. You just got started going a little too fast, and then you made one wrong turn. That led to another. If you move too fast, you will not understand the depth of your journey. You won't be able to follow the narrow path. You must walk with me, traveler, for I know the best pace for you. Traveler, look into my eyes and know that I love you.
She looked and saw love unlike any she had ever known before. the kind of unconditional love that would hold her safe and secure.
The companion knew her heart and her thoughts. He said, I am with you in ways you cannot know, in the wind, the trees, the sun, the stars, everywhere.
My heart goes out to you as you go your way. Take strength, my friend, in all you do. I pray that God will keep you in loving care, and all the stars shine down on you. And should you wait till morning so cold and gray, I pray the sun comes shining through. May heaven keep the secrets of all your dreams, and all the stars shine down on you. May the road in the distance always rise to meet you, and the sun charge the evening to keep her eye on you. And in the night when birds mourn a lonesome cry, I'll send a song of hope to you. When moonlight casts a blanket of heaven's blue, let all the stars turn out for you. May the wind through the trees whisper words of peace to you, and the arms of the forest hold you in safe embrace. May the wind through the trees whisper words of peace to you, and the arms of the forest hold you in safe embrace. And as you go, I pray till we meet again, that all the stars shine down on you. You seem to know so much about me, companion. Tell me about yourself. I want to know you, and tell me about home place.
My father is there, but I spend much of my time in this world as well.
And who is your father, companion? Is he a kind man like you?
Companion always loved to answer this question. My father and I are very much alike indeed. In fact, some say that if you've seen me, you've seen my father. It is he who sent you to me, traveler. He heard your heart's cry. And as for home place, it has always been. There the journey continues, but the burdens of this life are stripped away. The truth is revealed clearly and honestly, with no distractions and no questions. It is a place where you can truly commune with others who have longed for a place to call home.
Oh, it sounds so lovely, but will there be a place for me there?
Of course, dear one. My father has prepared a place for you, and he awaits your coming.
How will I know when I'm on my way to home place?
You are already on your way. Remember what I said to you about seeing the narrow path with your eyes and your heart. You must just keep doing that, and you will find home. Or rather, home will find you. There's a place not far away, forever and beyond, where a morning star ignites the sky with a light that needs no sun. And if you walk with me, I'll gladly take you there. It's a land where dreams come true, doubt is swept away, a home place for the traveler who's questioning her way. And if you're lost, the power of love will lead you home. It's the longing and the laughter, the voice that's calling you, the journey through the night. It's the cry forever after. So reach and home will find you. Just reach and home will find you.
Like the friendship of a family, as we gather round the fire, it's the warmth of that acceptance that everyone desires. And if you're cold, the home place burns with flames of love. And the joy that lets the sun rise is the dream that beckons you to scale the mountain high. It's the joy that lets the heart cry. So reach and home will find you. Just reach and home will find you. Come and see. Come with me. It's the longing and the laughter, the voice that's calling you, the journey through the night. It's the cry forever after. So reach and home will find you. Just reach and home will find you. Reach out and home will find you. Home will find you. Home will find you. Home will find you. Reach and home will find you. There's a place not far away, forever and beyond. Reach and home will find you. Like the friendship of a family, as we gather round the fire. Reach and home will find you. It's the home of love. traveler left the road of good intentions behind, and once more she could see and feel the narrow path. Her mind and spirit were renewed, but the going was not always easy. She met many distractions along the way.
As she traveled, she became hungry, and she stepped off the narrow path to reach for a berry. Companion gently cautioned that these were berries of deception, and that things were not always what they seemed. Nevertheless, the traveler got tangled in their vines and wasted a lot of time going around in circles. Companion guided her to the fruit of truth instead. And when she thirsted, he led her to the well of wisdom and away from the brook of doubt.
Traveler came upon a large stone blocking the narrow path. First, she tried to shove it aside, but it wouldn't budge. Finally, in frustration, she sat down on it, for it had grown right before her eyes into a large boulder. As she sat, the voice inside her said, "Pick it up. Carry it." Oh, sure. Well, this stone must weigh half a ton, she thought. But following her heart's voice, she picked up the large boulder, only to realize that in doing so, it actually became smaller. She discovered that she made progress by picking up the stones one by one, and they too became smaller as she placed them in her pack.
Days passed, and the narrow path grew steep. Despite Companion's reassurance, Traveler grew weary. Increased doubts took much energy from her. She longed for the camaraderie of other pilgrims. Suddenly, she saw lights ahead on the horizon and realized there must be some type of a city there. And where there is a city, there are usually people.
Oh, Companion, is it really true? Are there really others near here?
Companion had been expecting this. Yes, Traveler, there are others in that city. It is called the City of Rest. A much-needed place of rest, to be sure, but you must be careful and stay alert.
Careful? Careful of what? And here they were near others for the first time in who knew how long, and he was telling her to be careful?
Careful of yourself. You must rest, yes, that is crucial to continuing on in your journey, but you must guard against complacency and false security.
But Traveler wasn't listening. In fact, at this very moment, she was running full tilt toward the City of Rest, and Companion, as always, let her make her own choice.
A gatekeeper greeted her with a smile and a welcome. In her excitement, Traveler did not notice that the gatekeeper's eyes and heart were not smiling too. Traveler welcomed the party atmosphere and festivities of the occupants of the City of Rest. They called themselves voluntary passengers, and many of them had been resting for several years.
A day passed, and then another, and then another. And Traveler was growing used to feeling content. Maybe these people are right. I mean, what purpose is there to go on searching for the home place, a place I've never really seen, and this city is so peaceful?
As Traveler walked down the wide city streets, she turned a corner and noticed a small garden gate. As she stepped through it, her mind went back to the little narrow gate and the narrow path.
Where is it now? I've got to find it. As much as I've enjoyed being here, I know this is not my home. With embarrassment, she realized that she hadn't even thought of Companion for days. Oh, Companion, I miss you. Where are you?
As always, he appeared at her side. Are you ready to leave this place, he asked. The travelers who stay here have misinterpreted this place. It was created to give pilgrims a place to rest on their journey and a taste of the joy to come. They've attributed the happiness in their hearts to the city of rest itself and not to its creator. Companion continued to tell her about a time when he, too, was given an opportunity to stop at a false place. I was taken high up on a cliff and told that all I saw could be mine to rule and take pleasure in. If only I'd stopped traveling back to my father. If only I'd denied him.
And what happened? Did you go back to your father?
Yes. Yes, I did. I could never give up my father, no matter what came next. And because I returned to him, every pilgrim who wishes to do so can also go to my father in the home place. Come with me, and let me show you the real joy at the end of your journey.
Oh, Companion, I don't know why I thought this was such a good place to stay. My heart belongs with you. Traveler and Companion left the city of rest and passed many days walking the narrow path. Never again will I wander away from you, she said.
Companion looked at her with great love in his eyes. For while he knew the sincerity of her heart, he also knew the reality of the path. Soon after that, Traveler noticed a mysterious storm gathered in the sky. And once again, she began to feel restless, and fear came from inside her.
Companion. Companion, what is happening to me? I'm scared. I feel like something terrible is about to happen. I know you are with me, and yet I've never felt so alone and so frightened.
We are approaching the forest of fears, dear one. I know you are afraid, but if you have ever trusted me, trust me now. You are much closer to the home place than you realize, but you must go through the forest of fears to reach it. There is no way around it. You must face what you fear the most, yourself. I cannot face it for you, but I can face it with you.
As she struggled through the forest, it was as if all the painful parts of her life passed before her. She had encountered the bush of false security, the monstrous tree of guilt. She had faced her fears and faced her guilt, the guilt for all the things she had done to hurt herself and others, the guilt for all the things she hadn't done, and perhaps worst of all, the false guilt that made her feel like she was responsible for all the bad things in this world.
She screamed out in horror and frustration as she confronted the pit of temptation. She reached for her satchel and for the compass in there to help her get her bearings, but it spun round and round, and she knew then that her compass was not her guide. Her last thought before she collapsed into exhaustion were her companion's words, "I will not leave you." She felt a gentle hand on her shoulder, and she knew, as she had never known before, that he was there.
Traveler looked up at companion. What has happened to me? I look like I've been in a battle.
Companion smiled lovingly. "Little one, you have indeed been in a battle. You have walked through the forest of fears. You cried out to me with your heart to be with you, and here I am."
Traveler reached for her pack. She drew out her beloved compass and gave it to companion. I think that I've been trying to find my own way when you have been here to guide me all along. Companion, please take my will and make it yours.
I accept your compass, traveler, and I return it to you freely, for I know that having given it to me, you will now make good use of it.
Traveler began to notice her surroundings. What place have we come to now? It's so beautiful here.
Your tears flowed freely in the forest of fears, and while you struggled there, I gathered them all to water this place. We are in the Tinderlands, and my father has provided for your wounds. Ahead, Traveler saw others who began to approach her. Although quite unexpected, it looked as if they anticipated her arrival. They brought with them soothing balms, bandages, food and drink, everything she needed to be refreshed.
When the dark closes in so hard I can hardly see, and the walls of my fortress of faith crumble in on me, when it seems like the end, and not a measure of strength to spare, I feel the arms of a stranger rescue me, a soothing balm for the wounds I suffer along the way, a fervent prayer giving courage and hope for another day. Through the help of my friends, ones I may never see again, seem like angels that were sent by heaven for me, with some unexpected friends, never asking where I've been, just a hand of mercy and words of love call me back again. Oh, it feels like home with unexpected friends.
Traveler thought that she recognized Challenger among the crowd, and she wondered how he had come this far along the path. Companion told her, "It is not important how Challenger got here. He is here, and for this moment, your paths have crossed again.
some unexpected friends, never asking where I've been. Just a hand of mercy and words of love call me back again. Oh, it feels like home with unexpected
After they spent some time sharing stories, Traveler got some well-earned rest. She learned many things here in the Tenderlands: to recognize and meet others' needs, to show them love and compassion is essential to any traveler's journey. And it is also essential to help other pilgrims recognize and meet your needs. There is a time for both. As Traveler drifted off to sleep, she dreamed of the friends she had met and the many gifts she received in the Tenderlands.
Within my soul, the lands I seek are golden fields where rivers meet. Their seeds are sown by heaven's hand, and harvest comes in the tender land. Patient sunrise nurtures the flowers to bloom. Comfort, sweet rain falls like a fresh perfume, and love is grown. And baby, don't cry. And Mama won't weep in the tender land. The world is pure where mercy lives. This heart becomes the grace she gives. Her gentle words I understand. They rise as mist in the tender land. Mercy lay down, hold me within your arms, rock me sweetly, cover me with your smile, and love will grow, and baby won't cry, and Mama won't weep in the tender land. And love has grown, and baby won't cry, and mama won't weep. In the tender land, in the tender land.
Although companion and traveler spent some time in the Tinderlands, the time came when she realized she must move on. Many tears fell as she bid her friends farewell. She surely hoped to see them again in the home place. Then, following the path out of the valley of the Tinderlands, companion and traveler walked in silence for a while. Perhaps traveler was instinctively gathering her resources for the last climb ahead.
There were sharp rocks by the side of the path. The mountain ahead cast a dark shadow. As Traveler looked up, she could see a halo of light coming from the city above. Oh, I am almost there, for surely there is the home place.
Yes, there on that mountain is the place your heart has yearned for. It is within reach. You have traveled well. But like each and every pilgrim on this voyage, you must traverse your own last great mountain. No two mountains are alike, and yours has not been climbed by any other pilgrim.
She began her ascent, step by step, grip by grip. She climbed upward. She grabbed the branches of perseverance, which grew out of the side of the mountain. Every muscle in her body ached. She had never felt such fatigue. Once she slipped, and in so doing, she saw another path carved even more deeply into the rock. How can this be? Companion said no other pilgrim had climbed this path.
I have gone before you.
The realization hit her with great power. Not only was Companion always with her, he had gone before her, preparing the way. He had experienced every last thing she had. He was a tower of strength, a giver of life, her companion.
one last pull, she dragged herself over the summit. A companion was there to greet her. The golden hue bathed the whole place in light, the likes of which her eyes had never seen. And there was music, elegant, joyful music, the likes of which her ears had never heard. Giant pillars of alabaster stood at the entrance, a little ways off. But the majesty of her surroundings was no match for the love shining through Companion's eyes.
She took his hand, and as they came pillars at the main gate, she could read the sign mounted above the entrance. It read simply, Vive le voyage. The journey lives on. Everything in his time, everything in his time. So now I walk a different
delightful.
Wonderful. The work was, the dancers were incredible. Sandy's copy was great. Enjoyed it.
Sandi was fantastic, and the dancing complemented so beautifully. It was just simply beautiful.
It was fantastic. I think it was more than having a chance to listen to the music for years, but to see it, it was above what I thought it would be. It was fantastic.
It was great. Fabulous. We loved it, didn't we, Ellen? Yeah. The singing was great, and so was the ballet.
It was fantastic. I had no idea what to expect. We knew it would be good, but it was just blew our minds away.
I felt it was probably one of the finest programs that I've ever been to. You know, I don't know, ballet usually is something that I can do with or without, but this was just outstanding. I just enjoyed it so very, very much. We're proud of everybody.
Wow. You know, I have 4 children, so I know what it's like to give birth. And Le Voyage has been very much like this. It's kind of been watching this work really come to life. It's been a joy to, from the very beginning conversation with Luann of, you know what we ought to do, you know, to see the script come to life, and to see the choreography then come to life, and to see the costumes, and then to see especially the audience respond to it was just an incredible experience for me. You know, this is one of my favorite works that I have been privileged to do over the last 20 years of my career. And to really see it come to life in this way was just, it's beyond words, and what a thrill to be part of it.
The voice that's calling you, journey through the night. It's the cry forever after. So reach and home will find you. Just reach and home will find you. Reach out and home will ever and beyond. Reach and home will find you.
Like the friendship of a family, as we gather